Hi, y'all. I'm John Blackburn, the barn expert.
Wild about barn.
Dear barn expert, Dorothy Tarver bought a property with an old 1861 farmhouse and barn in Mississippi. She wants to know how to approach the barn renovation.
I think one of the first things you need to do is to do an assessment of your barn. It appears to be a great old barn that it could be in great physical shape. So good structure, good heavy timbers. So the assessment does several things for you. And that would be either an architect, a structural engineer, somebody who's knowledgeable about buildings, particularly somebody who might be knowledgeable about horses, is to go in and look at the structure, whether it's sound and worth putting money into. And one of the views you sent me, it's just a lot of underbrush around it. And you may want to do the clearing first so you can do an adequate assessment. First, get all that away, because that's creating different conditions around the barn. Is going to add to the rot and deterioration, and that may be concealing things that I'm unaware of from the photograph. Second step is to begin to basically improve the finish so you have a solid envelope around that barn. Then I start to look at what would it take to enclose it and make it sound, whether it's replacing some timbers or improving the structure in some way, certainly replacing some of the siding, repairing or replacing the roof. Those you need to take care of. But one point I want to mention in the assessment that the interior of the barn could have an impact is you have, typical of a lot of old barns, they're designed for farm animals. They weren't designed really for horses, maybe some draft horses, but they were not designed for as a horse barn. Let's assume that you do your assessment, it's going to work, you can put some money into this and fix it up and stabilize it, and that's what I would do in the sort of the exterior. Then I would come inside and I'd start to improve things like flooring, drainage, the electrical, and all those things. I've always said, a little side note here, is that barns make great places to have parties. If you fix that barn up, you can put your horses in there, but you can also have some pretty nice parties in there. It's a great place to hang out, and I think an old timber structure like that could be actually an advantage and a value to your property, that if you mention that you're trying to do this renovation of the house and the farm and get loans, if you had somehow drawings and vision to show those loan officers what this could be, you may find a different tune coming from those people. Sure, one option you have in your feasibility study is to tear it down and sell it, and sell the lumber to somebody who wants to do that. I find that, as a person who loves barns, is a sad end to a barn. If you can save it, do what you can, because you have something that really can't be built new.
I hope that helps, Dorothy. You have a real treasure in Mississippi, and we hope the barn expert has helped you preserve your special barn. Remember, send in your questions for our barn expert. Go to our website, wildaboutbarns.com, or send your photos and questions to Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.